Holding 1 point, face, stance and posture. There is so much to this. I have only dealt with the major points here. If we step back from our consuming continuity and ask, how am I feeling, not what, but how? By what mechanism? The answers are interesting, as they will vary depending on the state of our awareness. If we catch our feelings, or state of being, as we come out of absorbed thought, we find that we are in a very different state of feel-being than when we are more aware and paying attention to ourselves. Why? When we get involved, all sorts of tensions and attitudes manifest that somewhat disappear when we are more conscious. These are amalgams of our desires, fears, wants, irritations, expectations, annoyances, perspectives and so on. Essentially the plus and minus of our loves and hates, with a bit more. The bit more is the stance we take in life, or posture, the face we put on. Paying attention to those very literally reveals the very real attitudes, perspectives, beliefs and awarenesses that we are made up of. Face, stance and posture are intimately related, literally and figuratively. Once we start to pay attention to them, we realize that we have them. Now that we are aware of them, we have to deal with them. The major problem is reverting into undesirable and unintentional states of being when we aren't paying attention. They are the result of habit and routine, assumption and assimilation, and a lack of alternative. Awareness of these default states of being unfortunately doesn't necessarily change them. So we come to holding 1 point. It's simply a focused awareness on the body, of a face stance posture that is more desirable than our habitual one. It is placing our awareness on points in the body, with the aim of holding a particular way of being. Holding 1 point will result in an actual physical change in our physical face, stance and posture, and that leads to changes in the face we put on life, and the stance and posture we take in life. By changing our physicality we change ourselves, how we are, our attitudes, perspectives and awarenesses. It takes continual commitment and application. It is a continual remembering to do it. Changing habits is very difficult. These are the most ingrained of habits that we are changing. Holding 1 point is also more than that. It's not only changing the habit of how we hold ourselves, it's a mechanism to change how we are, directly. It bypasses all the analysis, intellectualizing and thinking about how and what we are. Those are remarkably ineffective for producing change. Despite our best and most fervent wishes to the contrary, our habits and routines are too strong. They keep us locked into the way of being that we find ourselves in. Holding 1 point when it becomes a continual practice forces us to constantly readjust how we are. At first, since we usually don't have a positive model to follow, the practice consists of simply not being our habitual way. So we set our face, stance and posture in any way that is other than what we have, and see if it is better. Holding 1 point is an integral awareness with the breath energy, as that is one of the mechanisms for setting face, stance and posture from the physical side. The other, more obvious mechanisms, are expressions for face, and physical stance posture for setting our stance and posture in life. A technique is to shift our focus to parts of ourself that we don't feel. It is really surprising how much of ourselves we don't feel. As we practice and continue to apply, more and more of ourselves begins to unfold and untangle. We are quite tangled, and holding 1 point on a certain point will have effect on other points. It's a continual pull and tug, but as we do it more and more, new patterns, pathway and ways of being start to develop and emerge. It's a continual awareness of feel, but not emotionality, as in, how you are, your state of being. It's moving beyond emotionality. The continuing aim and focus of holding 1 point is to get to that point of impeccability where we will hold only that point, and we will be in balance, in harmony, energized and relaxed all at the same time. Vital and alive, eager and at peace. Ready and unstressed. In the now, yet prepared for anything. Further posts on this subject. Details of holding 1 point. Implementation at the root level. The habit of habits, the tools of change, part 27.